Hi, I'm Alex.
And I'm Chris.
And this is our lovely boat, Moonshadow.
She's a Pearson, 1969, 39 feet long.
But babe, wait, who's driving Moonshadow?
The autopilot.
The autopilot stopped working back in Turks and Caicos.
Yeah.
So we finally just left St. Thomas. As you can see, getting a good point right there. Ready to make our channel entrance.
Dark time channel entrance. Big long reef, call long reef.
Officially within the channel. Can't see Chris, but his face is happy to be home. Welcome to another episode of Between Sun and Sea. In this video we are exploring the largest of the U.S. Virgin Islands territory, the island of St. Croix. Geographically speaking, you can locate it around 17 degrees north and 64 degrees west. And with an area of 214 square kilometers, it is definitely much bigger than its sister islands of St. Thomas or St. John.
It's made of 2 did most of it barefoot, didn't even feel too bad.
Whether you are at sea level or high up in the rainforest, you will find very rugged yet beautiful terrain wherever you go. Before the settlement of the New World and the discoveries of Christopher Columbus, this was once called home by the Taínos, the Caribs, and the Kalinago tribes. However, after it was exposed to European influence, it flew the flags of the Spanish, the English, and the Dutch. And most recently, before becoming a part of the United States, it was referred to as the Dutch West Indies, and renowned for its sugarcane cultivation. Today you can find many of these old sugar mills to explore. Some of them are preserved, and some of them seem to have been abandoned forever. And after all the leaves were blown from the trees after Hurricane Maria, we even discovered some new ones that we didn't even know were there before, right above the road. St. Croix is also known as the Island of the Twin Cities, for its two most popular places, Christiansted in the northeast and Frederiksted on the western end. It also has two popular mini-islands. This one is called Hotel on the Key and offers a great beach and plenty of live events going on all week long. We chose to anchor Moonshadow right in front of this little key and the Christiansted boardwalk. The best area in our opinion for great dive shops, really good places to eat, and lots of fun things to do. Not to mention there are reefs and wrecks all over the harbor, which make for great spearfishing spots or for snorkeling. If you are looking to sail to a quieter spot with some great views and the best sunsets on the island, definitely head over to the West End, to Moorup or Anchor, near Rainbow Beach, or even these Monk's Baths. For those of you who are inspired to dive, the Wall at Cane Bay is a great location. But also be sure not to miss the Pier in Frederiksted for its diverse wildlife and its unique setting. St. Croix may lie off the beaten path for most sailors or cruisers, but that should only be motivation to visit even more. With less tourists and people visiting all the time, one can really get to know the Crucian culture, warm their soul with the best Ital cooking in the Caribbean. Snorkel America's one and only Buck Island National Reef monument by day and dance with mako jumbies by night. Slip into the serene bioluminescent bay of Salt River, or hike up in the rainforest to pick ample amounts of fresh fruit. This magical place is by far one of the best hidden treasures in all of the United States. However, it's not staying hidden for long, and plenty of really awesome expats are migrating there from the United States and elsewhere every single day. And good news if you're a United States citizen, because you don't even need a passport to visit or even live here. Thanks for watching another episode of Between Sun and Sea. Be sure to explore more with us and subscribe to our channel, and follow along on Instagram and Facebook for more adventures between sun and sea. And as always, until next time, go have fun.
We did that.